Here we go. Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? And welcome to the Senior Coach to Blended ED Bootcamp. My name is Dominic Pizzurdo, and I'm an integrated regional director with Take Shape for Life. And I want to introduce my partner on this, Craig Chapman. Craig, you want to say hi?
Hey everybody, my name is Craig Chapman. I'm also an integrated regional director with TSFL.
Perfect. So we're going to lead you through and kind of put this all together for you. So let me get to some slides, get them pulled up, and we'll get ready to go. All right. So today we're going to speak about moving your business forward from senior coach to blended ED. All right. So by now, many of you should be senior coaches or above. And we're going to be putting everything that you've learned together because right when you came into the business, you probably were excited, helping a lot of people. You lost the weight yourself and you were on fire. And, you know, there really wasn't a lot towards the business. It was more just so about yourself and the excitement and people seeing what's been going on around you and you losing that weight. So now we're going to bring it all together because you hit senior coach and it was all of a sudden doors opened up everywhere. I'm in all these different Facebook groups. They're saying to do my map. I have this messenger group. You know, I got to do these three-way calls. What's going on? How do I handle it all? And that's kind of what we're going to speak about today. So warning, disclaimer, this training is only for those coaches who are willing to take action to achieve your goals. So just showing that you guys are on a Saturday morning bright and early shows that you care about your business, and we're excited to be here working with you. But it's going to take a lot of effort, a lot of growth. This business is the easiest, hardest thing you will ever do, and I can attest to that. And let me tell you why. It's because we're used to staying in that little circle. You see that comfort zone? Well, that's kind of what we've had up until this point in our lives and kind of where we've stayed, kind of where society tells us to be.
Dom, I don't see your screen, but did you share your screen?
Oh, you don't
Maybe I've got a wrong setting on me, but I just have the portrait of everybody.
All right. Well, I'll make sure that you guys can see it. Are you guys seeing it now?
Yeah, there we go.
All right. Well, see that little circle? That's your comfort zone. And up until this point in life, that's kind of where we've been at, and we've got some of the results that we've achieved in our lives. And hey, there's nothing wrong with it. That's just that's what we've been taught. That's where we've just been led through experiences, people that we've come across in our lives. And now, you know, a lot of us have decided there's things that we want more in life. And, you know, how are we going to get there? And it's about stepping out of our comfort zone and getting to where the magic happens. And what we're going to be going through is how do we get that magic? What do we do? I mean, how do we overcome some of these fears and move forward in our lives and in our businesses? And a lot of moving forward and getting out of your comfort zone, a lot of the fear can be removed by simple systems and planning and just being prepared and taking one step at a time. So a journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. So here we go. All right, so now gonna kind of tell us where we're at and where we're going. Craig Chapman is gonna come on board right now, and he's gonna lead us through the next few slides and give us an understanding of what it takes to get where we wanna go. Craig?
Okay, thanks, Tom. You know, if you can go back to that one slide back, that slide right there. What I found, and I've been doing this for a while, is that your desire to grow really needs to be bigger than the chatter in your head, you guys. And this is where personal development and getting into the books, getting into watching the recommended videos and stuff like that will give you that belief in yourself to go ahead and move from that little small circle to the larger circle. And that's so important. So let's go ahead and switch over. So, you know, there's a number of different paths to the blended ED. And let's go ahead and start with the basics. Okay. So how you become an executive director is not by volume, it's by points. And so there's a couple ways of getting points. One is for every $1,200 worth of frontline volume, what you see as 5 ordering entities, you get a point. Now this is important, really, really important. That needs to be 5 ordering entities, okay? Because guys, you can go ahead and you could have a husband and wife on program, and they're ordering not $350 or $400 of volume, but they're ordering $800 of volume and have 4 orders that surpass the $1,200, but that doesn't make them, that doesn't make a point. It has to be 5 ordering entities to make it, okay? Or you get another point for having, again, a senior coach, which again is that person has to have $1,200 in their frontline volume, and it has to be 5 ordering entities. That's really important. So go ahead, Tom. So actually there's a number of different roads to the blended executive director, and we're going to kind of break down the most popular ways of going about it, okay? So the first one is the 5 and 0, and basically what that is that's you doing it all yourself. You're holding all the water, guys. So if you go on vacation for a week, your business can go on vacation for a week as well. This is the hardest one to do by going ahead and having $6,000 in frontline volume because you don't have a team behind you. Go ahead, Dom. Let's go to the next slide. So $6,000 worth of frontline volume is right around 20 to 22 clients. And we want to make sure that you know, we're supporting these clients on a weekly basis. Let's go to the next one, Dom. This one is a little bit easier. And really, when I first started out 3 years ago, it was the 5 and 0. That was what the emphasis was placed on. But now, through the blended path, it's becoming much easier to qualify as an executive director, because now what you're doing is ultimately you're transferring the skills to someone else, and it's not you doing it all yourself. So in this scenario, you now only have to have 15 clients, not 20 to 22, for $4,800 worth of frontline volume, which gives you 4 points, and then have somebody else that you've helped duplicate your efforts, and now you get a point for them, which now they're a senior coach. So that's why it's 4 plus 1, which is 5 points, which is becoming an executive director. The next slide shows the 3 and 2. So again, you have less clients, only 12 clients, but what you've done is you've duplicated yourself twice by helping somebody else each reach the senior coach level. Again, this is really important, guys, is they have to have 5 ordering entities, and they have to have $1,200 in frontline volume or above, okay? Well, let's go to the next step. Now, this is the 2 and 3, and this is where you're only getting 8 clients and you're having 3 senior coaches. Again, because every $1,200 is a point. So for you, you're getting 2 points. And because you've helped 3 other people hit the $1,200 level with 5 ordering entities, you're getting an additional 3 points for a total of 5 points, okay? So there is benchmarks along the road on this program. So we first start with the senior coach helping you get 5 clients. And then from there, we get to what we call the blended executive director, which can be the path of what I just showed, 5 and 0, 4 and 1, 3 and 2. And then ultimately, you go to the integrated executive director, which is the next step. Now, integrated means that you have 5 coaches that are actually at the senior coach level, and that's when you become an integrated executive director. And what's cool about that, guys, is you actually get another bonus as well. Besides the rolling consistency bonus, where you get $1,000 every 3 months if you're running $6,000 volume or more, the integrated executive director bonus, you're getting another $1,000 every 3 months. So that's literally like an extra $8,000 a year in bonuses. And then ultimately, for those that want to go ahead and have a huge business, like with Jamil, they become an integrated presidential, and that's where you're having 10 executive directors, and 5 of those 10 are what we call integrated. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Craig, if I can add just kind of on this, when you guys are looking at these paths, and you see that, hey, I can do this all on my own and I can get 6,000, or I can do it with a team. I mean, think about reasonings why you started coaching in the first place, to help people. This is a way to help people with a lot more than just their health. So this is a way to help them with their optimal health. And that's kind of what the program is that we're on. And also think, if you're doing it all on your own, if you were to stop, there's really no stability, because if you want to help 30, 40, 50 people, you can, but then you also start to limit yourself on time. And when you're helping these other individuals also become senior coach, you're indirectly still helping the same amount of people, but now you have more time on your side. And that's something that's more of a stable business. You could think of those senior coaches as like legs on a table or whatnot, because if you are doing it all on your own and you stop, guess what? So does everything else along with your business. But if you have other individuals that you're also helping build businesses up, and then say you were to take a week off, go on vacation or whatnot, but they're at a different part of their business and they're still moving forward, there's some stability created there, and you still have an organization and a business running for yourself.
Good point. Definitely good point.
Right.
So understanding the client to coach ratio. So they talk about for every 5 clients, there's a coach there. A lot of people get confused thinking that, oh, my first 5, I'm going to get 1. You know, this isn't necessarily exactly how it works. In large numbers, people are predictable. And we know from past experience that as you bring on clients, at least 1 health coach is going to come out of 4 or 5 clients. But you know what? You might be lucky in the first 5 clients you bring on, you might get 2 coaches from those first 5. Maybe the 5 to 9, you might not get any. But over a course of getting 20, 30 coaches, you're going to get literally 5, 6, 7, or 20, 30 clients, you're going to get 5, 6, 7 coaches, right? Don't you agree, Dom?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And it's you ask how do we know they're in there? And like Craig said, it's through the experience and it's through the numbers, and it's just through welcoming them into our community and moving forward. I mean, think about yourselves. It wasn't until you were welcomed into the community, started going through, meeting other coaches, other clients on the site, that made you want to jump in and start helping others as well. And the more that we do it, that's when those individuals will start to show themselves.
Yep. So the next slide is just an example of how that works out. So, you know, you go ahead and you have the clients, and in this example, you've got 10 clients, and ultimately you get 2 health coaches out of those. And then what we're helping is that health coach go ahead and become a senior coach by getting 5 clients and working. And what's really great about this program is that we have all the tools to teach you, and you have a mentor coach as well that's willing to help you. And so if you're really brand new here and just have your first 5 clients, you know, your mentor coach is more than willing to help you coach those people and coach through you to help those people. And that's what I loved about this program, is because, you know what, I had somebody who had experience who was willing to help me with my business. And I think that, again, gets back to, you know, the community thing that Don was talking about, is that we're all here to help each other. And, you know, the more successful that we all become, the more people that get healthy. And that's really important. So, all right. Only offering healthy body part of our program. All right. It's like someone who's potentially drowning and say, good luck. I have to tell you that this is so important. You know, when Dr. Anderson put this together, and we talked about healthy bodies, healthy minds, and healthy finances, this is the key to our business. And we can't prejudge people. It's really, really important. When I first started out, I was just, because I was morbidly obese, I was looking for other people who were just overweight. But this program offers so much more to people. I mean, it really does. You know, we have the ability to help young people. Okay, maybe they're already fit, but you know what? Maybe they need to make a car payment. They're struggling to make a car payment, or they have student loans, or you know what? Somebody who's wanting to buy a house, they're renting right now. You know, we can help them build this business up to give them that extra cash to go ahead and help them with those needs. Someone like myself, you know, I'm almost approaching 60 years old. I'm looking towards retirement. You know, I don't want to rely on Social Security. I mean, quite frankly, most people can't survive on Social Security. You can literally go ahead and get on this program here, and within 6 months, whatever, going actually integrated executive director, most of you would probably go ahead and make twice as much as what Social Security is going to pay you. I know that's what my experience was. Within 6 months on this program, I was making probably twice as much as I was going to get from Social Security. And I paid into Social Security for 40 years, guys. So you know what? This is so much more than just helping people get healthy with their body. They need to go ahead and they need to get their finances in order. And then there's the part about the mind as well, which is we all need to grow so we can get out of that little small circle we talked about and get into the bigger one where we can accomplish the things that we want in our life. Okay? Let's go ahead and let's go talk about the MAP program. And really, this is how we go ahead and do it. All right? So let's go ahead and start. Dom, why don't you go ahead and hit the next slide here. So the MAP is our monthly action plan, and really this is the pulse of our business. By filling this out and giving this to your mentor coach, they can look at this and see where you are and actually where you want to go. It first starts out with you basically putting down where your current reality is, okay? This is what we're doing right now, and it breaks down into different components. On there, you can go ahead and see down below. You're going to write down where you're at. You're going to write down your rank. You're going to go ahead and you can see where your frontline volume is and how many clients you have, okay, and new clients per month. And you can fill that out. Now, the next step, go ahead, is where you want to go. Okay, and this is where you're going to want to go ahead and get together with your mentor coach as well. And this is important. Let's make some realistic goals. I mean, if you've only brought in one client this last month, and all of a sudden now you want to bring in 15 next month, that's not necessarily realistic. We want to have something that we can shoot for, so when we hit it, we really feel good about ourselves, rather than something that is so far-reaching that we don't hit it, and then we feel bad that we didn't go ahead and make it happen. So make sure you are getting together with your mentor coach and talking about over those different things. So the next step is, and this is where we're putting our clients at. Now, these aren't all of our clients. These are clients that are actually on full program. Okay, so we're getting clients that are on full program, and this is important because as you go along, for a lot of us senior established coaches, you're going to start to get people that'll order $100, $150 and whatnot, and they might order every other month. So you can't really use those people in this map, because we want to make sure we can put the people that are on full program that we can count on that volume. Okay, so that's where we put that there. And then the next step, we'll go ahead and Tom.
Yep, I got it. The coaches.
Yeah, the next one is the coaches. So this is our coach tracker. So the ultimate goal is to go ahead and help people and transfer skills to make other people senior coaches. And so here's where you're going to go ahead and put down your coaches. And then below their name, you'll see that that's where you're putting their clients that are on their B Slim orders. And and going back to yours, in your office in motion, you can actually go to reports, and then there is the section that says scheduled B Slim orders. You guys, you can go in there and you can put down the following month, let's say now it's November, so for December, you can go into December's, put December 1st through December 31st, and you can see all of your scheduled B Slim orders. And so you would write the names down of those scheduled B Slim orders that you know for a fact are on full program. So that way it gives you an idea of where you are. Again, the whole purpose of the map is to be the pulse of your business, so you can see, and it takes the guesswork out of where you're at. Okay? All right, Dom, go ahead. So remember, we rank up based on points. We rank up based on your frontline volume, and then we rank up based on senior coaches. So this is a point system to kind of show you where you're at to go ahead and ultimately get to the executive director level, through either coaches or through your own frontline volume. Okay? And so once you go ahead and hit the top here at the 22, you're going to be basically a an executive director. Let's see here. Let's go to the next one.
Sure.
Okay. So this is actually, this is the section where you go ahead and I call it IPAs, income producing activities, and it's laid out for you right here. And so what you want to do is you want to go ahead and go through these different steps. What I found is, and it's unfortunate for so many people, is that they get to do busy work and they think that they're doing their business, but you know what? They're getting organized and they're doing different things. This are high-level activities that will actually help you create a larger business. Okay, so make sure that you're going through those and looking at those and that you're following those steps. Okay. And finally, this is your client candidates. So this isn't a list where you're just putting down anybody. In fact, let me go back. When you print out the map, there's actually a contact worksheet. And that contact worksheet is actually the sheet that you're just going to start writing down everybody's name that you can think of. And why we want you to write down everybody's name and not prejudge anybody is because when you write down somebody's name, they will remind you of somebody else. Okay, so on that contact worksheet, you want to get 100, 200. It's an ongoing thing. Okay, now this section here, this is a section where we've already done and exposed the program to somebody, and maybe they're thinking about it or they want to, or they're going to get back to you. So this section here is the section where we'd write those candidates' names down. Okay. And let's see here. This is the section for potential coaches. So what you want to do is you definitely want to make sure that while you're getting your clients, that literally the first week, you want to do a celebration call with them, okay, and with your mentor coach. And then the first month, and why you want to do that is we want to make sure we're supporting them. And then ultimately, we're going to plant the seed to becoming a coach. And so in this section, you're going to put the names of some of your clients, especially the ones that are in your support groups right now, your Facebook support groups that are posting things, and you can see they're active. Those are the people that we want to go ahead and put down there, because they'll become your coaches, and we're going to move them up to the space up above. Okay? All right, so this is just examples of different maps you can see where they're filling them out. Now, one thing on this here, if you look at the clients, the 1 through 22, you can see this person is a manager right now. What I would recommend that you do is, to the right of the name, you're going to want to write down when their scheduled B-Slim order actually is. It's always good to know that, because if they push it back or something, you certainly want to make sure you're tracking that, because that does happen sometimes. You're counting on some volume to hit a goal, and somebody goes ahead and they push the order back the following month to the following month. Well, then you know what? You're going to have to eliminate that name and fill it again with somebody else if you're trying to hit a goal. Okay, go ahead, Don. Here's another one. You can see this one's beat up a little bit, so it looks like it's a definitely well-used map. And so that's what we want. Is we don't want a clean, crisp map. We want someone actually to be working with it on a weekly basis or daily basis, really looking at the pulse of their business. Because guys, this business will start out small. You guys are in this senior coach to blended ED, but there are people that are running multi-million-dollar businesses using this simple map format here. So it's really, really important that you're getting together with your mentor coach and you're going through this so they can see kind of where you want to go, what your goals are, and then try to help you achieve those goals. Okay? Next step.
That is me. So now that we've gone over kind of where you're at and kind of where you want to go, and now we've seen the map, and now we're going to put it into live action. How do we use the map to get individuals from potential clients to potential coaches up into the senior coach box? So how do we do that? Well, we do it together. We do it through team coaching. And that's what's really great about what we do as health coaches is just like when you were on program or as your clients are on program, they weren't in it alone. And as coaching, you're not in it alone by any means. We all come from a lot of different backgrounds. Craig is in the real estate industry, myself, real estate, lending industry. My wife's an RN. I mean, we come from all over the place in all different backgrounds. So right out the gates, we don't expect you just because you were a client on the program and now you're a health coach, we don't expect you to know it all. So we work together. So this is really where you get to work closely with your mentor and business coaches and learn what Take Shape for Life has as an offering to pass on to our clients and learn how to become efficient and to be able to do it yourself, master it, and then teach it to somebody else. So we do it through team coaching, and we do it through a lot of different calls to where the individuals, yourselves, can see these skills in action and then ask questions in regards to them and learn from them and develop so those skills are transferred. So the three main calls or Zooms that we do are the candidate calls and Zooms, the celebration calls and Zooms, and meet and greets. So you'll be able to, after in a couple minutes, we're going to go through them all and you're going to see the differences and see kind of when and why we do them. But team coaching has to be by far one of the most exciting things that I've come across since we've been doing the business. And, just really going shoulder to shoulder with my coaches and hand in hand and walking them through the business and seeing their businesses grow is truly something that gives me a lot of pride. I mean, think about it when you have a client that starts hitting milestones and they start losing the weight and people start noticing. Well, think about financially when you're helping somebody get out of debt, get that financial freedom, fire their bosses in their everyday jobs and go full-time into coaching and really make an impact in their lives and in their families' lives and live the life that they really wanted to live their entire life. I mean, think about when that happens, how exciting that is. And through team coaching, it's an excellent step that shows just what we're all about in this community. So candidate calls and Zooms, they can happen with potential clients that are going to be coming onto the program, and also with potential coaches that you've identified or maybe your mentor coach has identified as possibly being great health coaches. And then we move into celebration calls. Celebration calls happen with clients when they're going to be sharing their stories. It's going to be happening with coaches as they hit different milestones in their businesses. And then we have the meet and greets where as the new coaches come on board, they start meeting their support teams and they start meeting other coaches to see really what this is all about. Because in the beginning, like many of you, I only saw my business coach. I didn't see the big picture. I really wasn't introduced to a bunch of different coaches right away. Well, we're exposing them to the community now. And if their individuals aren't going to events, they really just think Take Shape for Life is you. They don't see anything. So opening it up, showing them other people that have been successful in this business and where they're going, it's really, really powerful. So team coaching, the perks, like I said, they get introduced to the community and we transfer the skills, and it gives the new coach time to observe the skill set. And then you have that time to confirm that you're learning the skill set, whether it's 5 minutes before the call, so we can go over desired outcomes, and then afterwards when there's a debrief. And if I can stress anything with you guys, the debrief is so, so important, because there's many times where coaches will we only have short windows of time with a lot of us working full time or whatnot. And this part gets overlooked. We may get on a call or whatnot, speak with a client, and right when we're done, everybody hangs up, and then we talk about it a couple days later or whatnot. If you can do it immediately after with your mentor coach, the impact that you'll have and just what you pick up out of it and what you learn is going to be so much more impactful, because it's going to be so fresh. Because on these calls, you should be there with a well-being tracker or the well-being evaluation that you have in regards to your client or potential coach that you have on the Zoom, and you should be taking notes. And then you're not only taking notes about what they're saying, but you're taking notes about what your coach is saying as they're leading the call, as they're going through the flow. So the debrief is so important that you take the time to then go over your notes, go over the questions that are fresh in your mind to help you learn those skills. So who's in your support team? And we really need to understand who it is. And so we know who we should be reaching out to. By now, you should have a business support team if you're a senior coach, and it should consist of you and your direct mentor coach or business coach or the health coach that brought you in, and then one above them, so their coach or their mentor as well should be included in that level of support. So 2 levels above you should be your support team. So when we get on these candidate calls or Zooms, who should actually be on them? Well, it should be the candidate, whether they're a client or potential coach, you as their coach, and then one person from your mentorship team. It's not everybody from your mentorship team, so it's one person. And you may ask, well, I've put the message out there, who's it going to be? Well, for you, it's great because it could be one of 2 to 3 different people that are part of your support team that could jump on the call. Because what we ask you to do is set the calls, set the appointments. It doesn't have to be with one specific individual, because as we know, people's calendars get full, right? So who do you set it with? You put it out there. Hey, everybody in my support group, I have a potential candidate call with an individual at 2:30 tomorrow. Who can be on? Now the group, your support team, goes back. They all check their calendars, and then somebody should respond. Boom, I can be there. I can fill it for you. And what does this do? This lets you see many different styles to how these calls are ran. It helps you see and realize that I don't have to be just like this one individual. There's many ways to peel the onion. There's many ways to skin a cat. So you'll see and be led through these calls from different points of view, and you can take some from each one of these individuals, but just know the pressure isn't on just to lock one of them down. Put it out there in the group, and somebody will jump on with you, okay? And we have to trust in that system that it will work, and you'll be excited to see the results that come from it. And how long should this candidate call be? It should be 30 to 45 minutes. And really, this is the old interested call, or it's called an explorer call, and we're going through their health goals and what they want to get accomplished, and we're explaining how we can make that happen for them. It says mostly for new coaches. It's because as you become more efficient and proficient in understanding how the call works and what questions are being asked, and as the skill transfers over to you, it's not always, you not always have to do this for every new client or coach that you're going to be bringing on that you're speaking to. So now we have the coach candidate call, and it's the same thing. It's the candidate is going to be an individual on there, and then you as the coach, and then one person from your mentorship team. And the same rules apply. Throw it out there. I have this happening. Individual wants to find out more about coaching. Who can hop on with me? Here's the time that it's set. So you just set it. And that should also be about 30 to 45 minutes. Now, the next call that we spoke about is the celebration call or Zoom. Same thing. If you look at it, who's involved? It's the client, you as the coach, and one person from your mentorship team. These calls tend to be shorter, but they could be anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. It just depends kind of where the call goes. Because as you have the other individual from your mentorship team leading the call, these are the individuals that are going to be leading the call, and you're going to be sitting back taking those notes, like I said. Wherever the call goes is where they're going to take it. Some individuals, it's just going to be straight about their program and their excitedness, and maybe other individuals that they are noticing them or whatnot. Some of it's going to lead into, hey, I really enjoy this and this community, and I'm excited about the program. How do I get to do what you want to do? What you're doing. And it leads down a health coaching path. And it's the same thing. For celebration calls, it's you, your coach. It says one or more from the mentorship team. It's because on these celebration calls, we really want to make a big deal about what they're experiencing. Because as we go through the program, there's days when it's easy and we're on top of the world, and then there's days where it can get tough. So we want to make sure that they know that what they're doing, they're not alone, and it's a big deal. The choices and decisions they've made to get healthy, they're huge, and we stand behind them. And once again, they're about 15 to 30 minutes. All right. So the meet and greet, as we go into it, 3 people again. It's you, your potential new coach, and a person from the mentorship team. And those ones could be anywhere from 15 to 45 minutes. It depends. They say what level of the meet and greet. It depends kind of what the individual wants to do with coaching. If they want to help just 1 or 2 individuals and build up a community around them while they're going through their own program, great. If they're looking to make this their business and really, really make some life-changing moves, it can be a little bit longer because we're going to dive deeper into what they want out of coaching. So it really just all depends. A lot of it's flow. A lot of it depends on where different signals or signs that the coaches are picking up on as the conversation's going. But just know it's not always locked into, you have to say this, you have to say this, you have to say this. They're fluid conversations. They should be natural. And wherever it goes, it's going to go. And you'll be surprised on these calls kind of what comes up. So the protocol for these calls. When we first start out, we want to shoot a text out to the support team if nobody's responding in that support group. So we want to make sure that we're covering all bases, because some people may mute their Facebook messaging just for a little while they're in meetings or whatnot, or they're on other calls, just so things aren't consistently popping up. If this is the case, make sure that you're shooting a text out to everybody so they know kind of what time the call is, and an individual will make sure that they're hopping on for you. Be on time. Be on time. There's nothing more awkward, I guess you can say, when you're doing a 3-way call or a celebration call or meeting somebody's client for the first time, when you're the business coach or mentor coach and you're on with their client that you've never met, but the health coach is not on. So it's could be staring back and forth, a lot of small talk. It can be kind of a very interesting situation. So I encourage you, be on time, you be on first with your client, and then maybe shoot a message over to your coach saying, hey, we're ready to go. make sure to send a calendar invite with the Zoom link. We always want to make sure that we're on your Zoom link. If you have a Zoom, we want to make sure that we're on yours and in your room. But make sure to send out that calendar invite just so you know that the individual has it, they've seen it, and they've put it on their calendar, whichever one of your mentorship team has said that they were going to be on with you. And then 10 minutes before, just to confirm, you send out a text or messenger that has a Zoom link in it, just so they know, just in case they're busy finishing up with another individual on another call or whatnot, they know where they should be when they receive it. And just some kind of housekeeping, I guess you could say. When you're on the call, try not to be eating, try not to be drinking, try not to have your video off. Be present. Don't be a distraction. This should be something that's helping you learn from the call. So make sure that you're there and you're present and you're actively participating, you're chiming in when called upon or whatnot, but just make sure that you're ready to go on these calls. And if the call is canceled, I fall into this a lot. Make sure that you remove it from your mentor's calendar. As soon as you find out, just make sure that you take it off and remove it, or shoot them a note and say that, hey, we're not going to be having the call, because like your time, their time is very important to them and to their families. So make sure that they know right away. It's just out of courtesy. All right. So we've talked about a couple reasons already on why it's important. So we're just going to recap on those. So to integrate our clients into our community, make sure that they feel like they're part of something bigger and that they're not in it alone, and that they know that there's a place to go for support if they can't reach you. And like I had said earlier, who knows what's going to come up on some of these calls? It's amazing. And just a caveat on these calls, don't be shocked if something comes out from a client or a coach that you had no idea about because they never shared it with you. I mean, we've had clients that have been struggling, and we talk to them every day for a week. Tell me what's been going on. Are you eating within 2 to 3 hours? You getting your water in? Great. Are you taking the enzymes? Great. You know, you're getting in all your meals. Why isn't this individual losing weight? And then you get them on a call, and the first thing they do is they tell your coach, your mentor, you know what? I go out every Tuesday night and I have martinis with the ladies. So I just have one though, but I make sure that I water it down, you know, but it's just that one a week. And then, you know, I've been working out 3 times a week. I've been doing cardio for about 30 to 45 minutes a day, and I've been running about 3 miles pretty hard. And yeah, your jaw drops and you're like, oh my gosh. And you feel mortified, but just know it happens. It happens to the best of us. It happens all the time. So just wanted to give you that. These calls, they lend the third-party credibility, the credibility that comes from bringing somebody else in. It's all about trust, and just knowing that it's worked for you, it could work for them, and it's worked for somebody else. So it just gives them that peace of mind of knowing, okay, this is the real deal. And these story calls, they're really teaching tools for you. They really can help take your business to the next level, really shows you how to put those trilogy glasses on and learn how to pick up on cues and clues that your clients may be dropping that may show them why health coaching could be a great fit for them. So when can you do one of these client story calls or Zooms? Whenever, anytime. Really, I try to get my coaches to set them up for anything. If an individual is struggling, set one up. If an individual is waiting for their food, you set it up, because, you know, a lot of times they're nervous, and you can put them at ease by talking to them about the program. You want to set up a call just after they get into fat burn, because now they're on a real high and they're excited, and, you know, they want to share it with many people. And, you know, maybe it's a time where you can teach them how to share it with other people. Anytime they hit a milestone, get them on a call. just basically any time that you can think of is an excuse to introduce them to our community and to get them more involved with individuals so they feel that they're a part of it, that they can experience everything that Take Shape for Life has to offer. A couple others on there are when referring somebody over to you, and when they're going to start transition. That's really a big one when they're getting ready to start transition, because a lot of times that's when the fear creeps in and people are always wanting to stay on program forever. Can I just eat these bars forever? Well, they can, yes, but we really want to help them transition off, to keep the weight off, living the lives that they lived before, but in a healthier way. And the transition can be very nerve-wracking for individuals. So it's always a great time to get them on, to get them reassured. All right. So how do I get them on, though? I mean, you say get them on the call, get them on the call. Well, how do I get them on? So I want to just ask Craig if you can just help me real quick, buddy. If you could just kind of just participate just a little bit, nothing major, but I'm just going to ask you a question and just kind of show you how we would throw this into a natural conversation with an individual to get them on the line with your mentor coach. So Craig, you ready to go?
Absolutely, buddy.
Perfect. So this is when we're going to be doing a full share and the individual really hasn't started the program yet. Okay. So Craig, how are you doing?
Good. Really good. Really excited.
Good. Excited and nervous all at the same time, I bet, huh?
Kind of. This is a big step for me.
Yeah. Well, I want you to know I'm super excited for you. And within a week, the pounds, they're just really going to start melting away. And after you've been on your healthy journey for about a week, I can't wait for you to experience your first celebration call. I mean, you're going to get to meet some other people and part of your coaching team that are there for your support, and they're going to be able to meet you. And this call is going to be so fun, and it's just part of the team coaching that we talked about and the extra layer of support.
Yeah, I'm excited. Just looking at all those posts in that client site there and what other people are experiencing is it seems like this is a cool program.
Yeah. See how simple that was? And it was more of an assumptive, that it was more direct, that, hey, this is what we do. So this is what's going to happen. You're going to lose the weight. You calm their nerves. You're going to lose the weight. This is what's going to happen. And in a week, we're going to celebrate that. So it's more of an assumptive. This is just what we do. So you just move them from one step to the next step. Okay. So another way to do this is during a client check-in. Okay. So maybe they've been on program for a couple weeks or whatnot. So here's what here's how we lead into it. So tell me, Craig, you've been on program for about a month now. How's it going?
Really, I can't believe, I've lost almost 20 pounds, and I just can't believe how much energy I have right now. I'm pretty excited about it, to be honest with you.
That is so awesome. You're doing amazing, man. 20 pounds. And I bet you your family and your friends are noticing, right?
Not so much yet. I mean, I'm a big guy, but you know what? Yeah, I can definitely feel my clothes and whatnot.
Wow. Filling your clothes, I mean, we call those non-scale victories. And you remember early on after week 1, our Zoom with Susie, that was pretty fun, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, you know what? Let's get you on a Zoom again. Let's talk about some of these non-scale victories, and let's celebrate you again.
Hey, that would be great. Absolutely.
Awesome. See how that kind of works, guys? I mean, it just should be, if you looked at the kind of the scripting and if you listen to kind of what I said, I wasn't on the script like a robot. This is just a baseline to help you guys with it, to kind of keep you just on point. But we want to have a purpose when we get on these calls with the individuals. And we want to make sure that, like I said, we're trying to introduce them to our community so they feel comfortable and they're excited, because their journeys can be a difficult one. So the more positives that we can purposely put in front of them and that they can experience, the better. And this is just what we do to help them just become more acclimated to our community and move them forward. So
can I interrupt here for a second?
Sure.
Yeah, I think these calls are really important as well, because and why I said, even though I said I lost 20 pounds, no one noticed. That happens a lot with your clients. They're not necessarily going to have a lot of people noticing yet. And so the purpose of this call is really to celebrate what they've accomplished, because there's people around them that aren't noticing, but yet they're really changing their lives. They're working hard. I mean, they're doing something that none of them done before. And we just want to make sure that we're celebrating that with them, and that they feel that that they're being supported not only by their coach, but by their mentor coaches coach as well. So they have a sense of, again, the whole key point here, guys, is to build a community of people. And, so between the calls and between them being in the client support groups, we give them that sense of community.
And this is what we do, just good people doing good things for others. So it should be something that we're excited to share with these individuals and let them experience what you've experienced. Thank you, Craig, for adding that in.
Sure.
All right, so who leads it? Don't worry about leading it. You're there to get those skills transferred over to you. So your mentor coaches are going to be the one that are leading the calls. They're going to create an environment where you and your client feel comfortable. They're going to keep it on point within decent time frames. And they're there to answer any questions that your client may have, and to pick up on any clues that they may be giving off for other aspects of the trilogy. And it's your job to take it all in and take those notes like I had mentioned, and just try to absorb what you can from them and pick up on those skills. So one day you will be the individual helping others with that. So the flow is going to be super important, but for the most part, we're just looking to make it fun. I mean, we just want to have a good time and let them experience the community and be positive with it. So, I mean, we can go through these one by one, but I mean, we've spoken about it. You're going to be the one introducing and edifying your coach and your client, but the mentor is going to lead the call. You're going to see different points where, of course, they're going to bring up the individual story, hey, so they can hear and get to know how they know you and kind of what journey they've been on so far. They're going to be asking them the questions. And the mentor coach may end up, I know I do a lot of time, is I share my story. Craig, you probably can attest to that. You probably share your story a lot on those.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're going to find out what they're excited about and who's noticing in their community, because we're going to be looking at trying to create an environment around your client that is one where they can thrive in, one where they can be successful in. So we're going to try to see if there's other individuals out there that possibly want to be joining the program with them. We're going to be listening for those clues. And then the well-being evaluation, just make sure that you have it with you and the assessment while you're doing it to make sure that you're taking those notes.
Hey, Dom, I'd like to mention something in this section here. When we talk about sharing our story, I want you to understand, that your story is important. And it doesn't have to be a dramatic story. I mean, because I lost 100 pounds, but Dom and his wife, Rosie, I mean, you guys, you're already pretty much healthy anyway.
Yeah, we lost 15.
Yeah, so it's not like you have to have this dramatic story at all to be successful in this. There are plenty of very successful coaches that are, we're already healthy, and so don't ever use that as an excuse that, oh, I can't do that because I don't have a weight loss story. Yeah, that's not the case at all, right, Dom?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Because we're not just about weight loss. We have to realize that we're an optimal health company that focuses on the healthy body, the healthy mind, and healthy finances. So There's a lot more that goes into it. All right. We've talked about this a lot already, to celebrate the client, to awaken or reawaken the motivations and the whys for why the client first started the program. You can do these to just expose them to our culture, to layer them as part of a tool to, lead them forward on their next step to possibly becoming a health coach. So that's the client celebration and a struggling client. So like I said, we do it for every reason, and a struggling client, it's a way to get that fire going back in them and let them know that it's not always fun daisies or sunshine daisies, whatnot, because that's a lot of the times what they see on a lot of these Facebook groups is a lot of people posting a lot of positive things. But to also know that, hey, it's not always easy day in and day out. There is struggles, and that's where we give our personal anecdotes as well that tell them about that. Why they're so effective.
Can I go back on something there?
Sure.
Yeah. So edifying your sponsoring coach, I think, is really critical, guys, because when you're doing these calls and you're bringing a third person in, they don't know who that person is. So the more that you can go ahead and edify that person, what's great about that is there's value that your client is going to see by listening to what this person has to say, but also by edifying that person, you're that sponsoring coach. Once they go ahead and then they can give you more credibility because you've edified them. So if Dom's my mentor coach and I've got a client and I'm telling my client, Dom's this incredible coach. He's got a coaching business that is across the nation. He's helped hundreds of people. And then he gets on and he starts talking. And then he says to my client, oh, hey, Craig, he is an incredible coach. And so he transfers that edification to me, which is really important because then that coach or that client feels good about the coach that he had. Really important, guys.
I'm so glad that you brought that up, and I know I brushed over. Thank you so much, because that leads us right into our next slide, the edification, the sponsor coach, the support coach, and the client. The reason this will help and work and propel them forward on their journeys is because of the trust factor. If they're trusting in the program, if they're trusting in the community, and if you look at, they already have trust most of the time, the coach and the client, they already have trust via friendship. So they're already, okay, I understand this is what you do, move me forward in the program or whatnot. And now they trust in the individual that was edified and that they're bringing on, that they know that, hey, this individual is successful, knowledgeable, helpful, fun. They're going to be more apt to listen. Where you may sometimes struggle with the individual, just maybe in communications with them or whatnot, just because of maybe the friendship relationship or roles in the relationship that you guys have already had. This brings in a whole new individual, and the trust that you've already set up through the edification is going to move us forward a lot faster, because the higher the trust, the faster things will move. The lower the trust in a interaction in a relationship, the slower things will move. So that's called The Speed of Trust. Good book for those individuals that are looking to build more trust in their relationships and business. It's a great book. All right. So the steps of the story call, we've already went over these in detail, but this is just another way to bring it up to get them on a call. It's just, I've been bragging about you to my coach, and they would love to hear and celebrate your success. It's a great way to bring up a story call, and they're ideal on the second week of the program, because that's kind of when they've gone into fat burn. So when they're feeling good, they got over days 3 and 4, sometimes 5 for some individuals, where they weren't feeling the greatest, but now they should be feeling a lot better. And they're probably down a few pounds and maybe even a size of clothes already. I mean, you never know with some of these individuals, but ideally, second week on program is a great time to be having these calls. The steps, we said that the coach is going to be asking all the questions. They're going to ask some open-ended questions about what the individual is excited about and some of the non-scale victories that they've had, some of the victories they've had on the scale. they're going to be asking a lot of these. And what does this do? It basically starts building that individual's story. So their story starts right here as a client doing one of these story calls and finding out about it. And that's what your mentor coach is doing as they're leading these calls and finding out more about them. And so you should be able to take the notes, like we've already said, and help them formulate, because who knows where these calls will end up going. And then repetition is the cornerstone. So this is where the coach is basically going to tell them, hey, or going to ask them after they've heard and they've asked a lot of questions, is where they're going to give their feedback, where they're going to say what they've done good and what they can improve upon. And they're going to give them the tips just from experience. And this is where they're going to really jump on those things that are working, keep them going, because that's all that they need to do with this program is just repetition, get the water in, hit your windows, get your feelings in, and then be active, and then have them tap into their support teams and to the community. So they're just really going to stress the importance of those items that they're doing well. All right. And then they're going to thank them is one of the steps. Reason this is important, because they have to realize that there's no agenda on these calls. These story calls, they're going to go in many different ways, but really it's about them. It's about celebrating them, hearing their stories, and just, patting them on the back because they're choosing health for themselves. And they're inspiring those around them, whether it's through the community on Facebook, or whether it's those around them that are now eating better. The families are changing. Their friends are starting to change the way they eat. Their coworkers, they're having healthier happy hours or healthier potlucks at work. I mean, that's kind of, we want to thank them for that, because they're making a difference. And thank them for being part of the community, because without them, we wouldn't have anything as far as our community of support and health. It takes all of us to be successful and move forward, because when the way I look at it, my clients are helping me just as much as I'm helping them, because they're keeping health fresh in my mind. So they help me lead with my health and keep it at the forefront of my mind to be healthy, so I can set a great example for them. So definitely thank them. So in summary, Craig hit on the edification, how important it is, how it brings that trust in, and lets them know that there's individuals and different layers of support that are there for them. It helps solidify the program to them. What they're doing is the real deal. It's not just some snake oil or anything like that. It helps solidify why we're here, and it brings everybody together. It unifies the community, knowing that what they're doing means something. What they're doing for themselves is great, is a positive, is something that inspires others. And we talk about multiplying, because the more individuals do this, the larger our community for health gets. So more clients will be helped, more families' lives will change, more coaches can be brought into your organization to where you can help really make a difference in their lives and in that of their family. So that's really what these calls, these three-way calls or client story calls, celebrate, whatever you want to call them, that's really what they're here to do, is just really help bring our community together and keep it growing and expanding. So that's our mission, and we want you to have fun with it. So Craig, we want to give them some action steps, and let's wrap up this call. I know we're a couple minutes over.
Yeah, we're a little over, but
yep.
You know what? Obviously, guys, leading with your own health first is absolutely critical. And if you ever are in a situation where you're struggling, even though you're a coach, reach out to your health coach and talk to them as well about that, because really this community is is similar to really AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, where, they have sponsors. And the whole purpose of this is to make sure that you're staying on track as well. Filling out your map completely. Guys, there is a video in Simple Systems by Brad Miller. Okay, so make sure that you get into Simple Systems, because all of you are senior coaches and above, so you have access to Simple Systems now. And in fact, this is a good point here. Don't be intimidated. There's a lot of links to a lot of information in Simple Systems. And if you feel like there's just so much there, get together with your mentor coach and just ask him, hey, what should I be looking at? Because there's a lot of stuff there that you don't need to be looking at yet. Okay, so don't feel like you have to jump through all of those links, but definitely get on that one link with Brad Miller, who's a integrated presidential, who goes over the map, and schedule a time with your mentor coach to go over that map, because it truly is the pulse of your business, which is important. And then you're going to certainly want to go ahead and start celebrating some client celebration calls with your support team. And I would encourage you to this week, let's try and schedule 3 of them, because remember, we want our clients to feel that they are being supported, okay? And it's just not you, but literally, it's you, your coaching partners, and a whole organization as well. We have webinars, we have podcasts, we have so much great tools to use. So let's fully integrate them, because a fully integrated client is going to become a coach, okay? Use your calendar on your phone to prioritize your day. Don't wait until in the morning to it's like, okay, what am I going to do? But literally, the night before, think about what your next day is going to be like, because it's going to go ahead and you can prioritize those things. And again, it gets back to, income producing activities. Don't be just, when you put together your client tracking binder and whatnot, that's great. And it's nice to be organized, but don't just do that, or don't be watching, personal development videos, because that in itself isn't going to get you where you want to go. It's so important when you need to add new people to your contact list. Again, that map PDF has that contact list next to it. And so start those conversations with those people through Facebook or wherever else, whatever other social media that you're involved in, and get it going, because it's important. So anything else you can think of, Don?
No, I think that about hits it. So really take this to heart. Like we mentioned in the beginning, this call is for those coaches that want to take action. So you guys took action by being on this call early on a Saturday morning. So let's take it to the next step. Let's do these. Get with your mentorship team. Go over your maps. Keep adding those people and stay in action. And we will see you guys online at the next events. And we hope to see you guys at convention and many of the other gatherings that we have along the way. All right. Anybody have any questions before we wrap it up? If you do, just take yourself off of mute. All righty, guys. Well, thank you very much. Hey, Craig, thank you very much for your help today as well.
You too, buddy. All right, thanks.
Guys. Take care.